This is a story about how my sister was unalived with a man that she met 3 weeks prior. So in 2014, my sister had just turned 27 years old and she lived in another city in Pennsylvania with my mom. She was a loving, caring individual, and I feel like she was just kind of searching for love, but searching for love in the wrong places. Um, she started dealing with this guy. And from what I understand, this guy was a drug dealer and he didn't like kids. So that's a key part to this story. So one day, he, I guess, had went to New York City, did some things in New York City, and then he was on his way back to the city that they were living in. I guess he called her and said that he was going to pick her up so that they can hang out. And apparently they were supposed to go to the movies. So he comes into town and he picks her up. And when he picks her up, actually, before they leave, my mom has this feeling, like she has this eerie feeling like something just isn't right. And so she said to her, she was just like, listen, if you're going anywhere, then you need to take your son with you. And my sister was like she was so determined to go out with this guy that she literally was like, okay. Even knowing that this guy didn't like kids, she was so desperate to go that she said, okay. So apparently, like the moments before she walked out the door, my mom said she got like another eerie feeling and she just was like, you know what, never mind, just leave him here. So she leaves her son there with my mom and then she goes out the door. So she goes with this guy, and apparently prior going to the movies, they make a pit stop at his apartment. So they're in the apartment, and from what I understand, while they're in the apartment, at some point she ends up going to the bathroom. And while she ends up going to the bathroom, there is a knock at the door. And from what I understand, with the knock at the door, he looks through the peephole and he sees somebody that he knows. That's a major part to this story. So he opens the door, and when he goes to open the door, this guy like kind of bum rushes into the door. So not the person that he saw in the peephole, it was a man. So he saw his ex-girlfriend in the peephole, so he opened the door, not thinking anything of it. However, come to find out, the ex-girlfriend had a new boyfriend and she was setting him up. So he bum rushes through the door and comes in, gets him down on his knees, and somehow there's a scuffle and he shoots the guy that my sister is dating in the back of the head. And when the shots go off, of course, you know, they're loud. So my sister was in the bathroom, so she didn't think anything of it. So she literally screamed. And when she screamed, because she heard the shots, that's how they knew that she was there. So they go back there to the bathroom and shoots her twice, once in the upper left arm and then down in the torso. And then they leave. So with them leaving, I guess neighbors heard gunshots, but never called 911. I guess maybe didn't want to be involved or what have you. So come to find out, the boyfriend and girlfriend who committed the crime called some crackheads and had them go back into the apartment and take his phone and my sister's phone. He paid them X amount of dollars to go in there and take the phones. So they go in, take the phones. They don't take any money. They don't take anything else that's in there. They literally take the phones. And then the girl that took the phone then does an anonymous call to 911 and says that she thinks she heard a shooting. However, by this time, they were already, they've been gone. They've already been laid in there, deceased. My mom said that she woke up out of her sleep. And when she woke up out of her sleep, she had just like this feeling. So when she looked, she saw that my sister, wasn't there or didn't come home. So she called her phone, and she said when she called it the first time, the phone rang. It rang until it went to the voicemail. No answer. So she said she waited a few minutes and then she called the phone again. Well, when she called the phone again, the phone immediately went to voicemail. So at that point, I'm thinking they had already got a hold of the phones and then maybe turned the phones off so that, I don't know, maybe something with the locations or what have you. So my mom says, even though she was feeling away, it was late at night, so she went to sleep. So as she goes to sleep, there's a knock at the door. And so follow for part two.